There's a moment every gardener reaches where compost starts to feel like a losing battle. You turn it, you water it, you wait for months, and still it's just never enough. Beds stay hungry, soil dries out faster than you can keep up, and well, the plants start telling you the truth long before you admit it to yourself. Compost alone isn't keeping pace with the demands of your soil. For years, I relied on compost as if it were the backbone of everything. It took a full season of drought to force me to rethink that. Because when the heat rises, when the soil crusts, and when water becomes the limiting factor, compost breaks down too slowly and improves structure too late. That's when an older farmer explained something that changed my garden permanently. He said, "Compost feeds the soil, but mulch feeds the soil life. Soil life is what changes everything." The method he showed me cost nothing. It didn't require a pile, a bin, or even time. And within weeks, the soil responded faster than anything compost had ever achieved. Today, I'll walk you through that exact mix so you can see the results for yourself. Stay with me through the intro, because once you understand why this mix works, you'll question why you ever relied on compost alone. The problem with compost begins when the soil is already struggling. Compost is powerful, but it depends on an already active soil ecosystem to release nutrients and build structure. When soil is dry, compacted, or overheated, microbial activity slows to a crawl. That means compost, no matter how high quality, sits on the surface acting more like mulch than like a soil amendment. In extreme heat or drought, compost can even pull nitrogen from the top layer as microbes fight to break it down without enough moisture. You end up with a garden working twice as hard for half the reward. This is why the $0 mulch mix becomes so important. Instead of depending on biology that's already weak, it rebuilds that biology directly at the soil surface. It creates the right environment first, then lets microbial activity explode, creating natural compost exactly where plants need it most, right in the root zone. The $0 mulch mix works because it copies nature's fastest soil-building system. This mix uses three components that almost every gardener throws away: soft green material, dry brown material, and a thin layer of soil to activate decomposition. When these three interact under mulch conditions, they decompose in place, forming what old farmers used to call sheet composting, but with a twist. Instead of waiting months, this system begins transforming within days. The key is the balance between moisture, carbon and nitrogen, combined with shade that traps humidity and supports fungal threads. What sets this mix apart is that everything breaks down directly on the bed. There is no compost pile losing heat, losing nitrogen, or losing time. Every gram of decomposition happens exactly where it matters. Roots tap into freshly released nutrients the same week decomposition begins. Earthworms rise to the surface and pull the mix downward. Soil softens from the top 2 centimeters down, then expands week by week until the bed becomes workable with your bare hands. Right, so to get started, just collect green material from your garden. This can be weeds, grass clippings, soft stems, pruned leaves, or even spent vegetable plants. Basically, anything that's juicy and still fresh will work just fine. Next, you'll want to chop or tear these up into smaller pieces. This really helps speed up decomposition, you know. Spread this layer thinly across the soil surface. You don't want a thick mat, just good coverage, that's all. Now add the brown material. Dry leaves, straw, shredded paper, sawdust mixed with leaves, or dried stems. All of these are perfect. This layer should be a bit thicker than the green layer. Its job is to regulate moisture, slow down decomposition, and keep the green stuff from rotting in the wrong way without air. Think of it as the breathable roof of the system. Now, just sprinkle a handful of soil across the top. It's a small detail, but honestly, it makes a huge difference. The soil brings in microbes, fungal spores and minerals that really accelerate decomposition. You only need a very light dusting. This isn't a covering, it's just a microbial starter. Finally, give the whole thing a good watering until it's damp, but not dripping. That activates all the biology and gets the breakdown process going. After that, just walk away and let nature take care of the rest. Within 48 hours, you'll notice a bit of warmth. Within a week, the layers will start softening up. After 2 weeks, that green material just melts right into the soil surface. And after 1 month, the whole top layer transforms into this dark, moisture-holding sponge that plants absolutely love. When I swapped out compost for this mulch mix, the first thing I noticed was water retention. The soil just stayed damp much longer than before, even when it was really hot. The second change was texture. The bed, which used to be hard and tight, started loosening from the top down. Earthworms multiplied quickly, leaving their castings all across the mulch. Plants responded visibly, you know. Growth surged, leaves darkened, and flowering increased, all because nutrients were being released steadily instead of in slow, uneven bursts. The real surprise came a season later. The soil had transformed so completely that digging no longer took any effort. Compost alone had never managed that. But keeping a constant layer of decomposing mulch provided nutrients, moisture, and organic matter all the time, just like forests build their own soil with no help from us. You can use this method pretty much anywhere, from garden beds to orchard rows. Honestly, this system works beautifully in raised beds, vegetable gardens, orchard floors, banana circles, or even around shrubs. For fruit trees, this mulch mix encourages deep rooting while suppressing weeds naturally. For vegetables, it keeps the soil loose and moist, stopping that crusting that can destroy seedlings. For anyone struggling with dry climates or compacted soils, this is truly one of the simplest and most powerful solutions nature has to offer. If you found value in this guide, and you want more field-tested methods grounded in real agricultural practice, make sure you subscribe to Farm Logic, share this video with someone who's battling poor soil, and stay tuned for the next episode. Your garden can transform faster than you think when you give the soil what it truly needs.